What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is having a legendary week. We have Jason waiting in the green room. We're gonna go ahead and give you a pre-draft offensive look. Oh, motherfucker wearing two caps and shit over here, catting out. Anyway, but before we get started with that, we also have a special guest sitting there who's gonna hate that I said that she was sitting there. Anyway. But before we get started today, we of course got to remind everybody to use our shop49ers.com affiliate link and help out Niner Faithful Radio. Link is in the description of this podcast or video. Go ahead and go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. Jason does a bang up job handling our social. And of course, to see everywhere you can subscribe to the show, go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. And make sure you stay tuned to the end of the show to get your special 10% off coupon code off of season 2 for the Faithful by the Faithful Apparel. Ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, let's get the show cracking.
Rice has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana, touchdown, John Taylor.
What's cracking, Jason? How you doing, bro?
What up, man? How's it going?
Legendary. You know, any day you wake up a 5-time champion is a legendary day.
Look at that. We already got somebody chiming in. What's with the Aaron Rodgers rumors again? Supposedly, the rumor is if for some reason the Packers and the Jets can't work out a trade, the Niners would be willing to jump in and do some sort of trade for Rodgers. It's off season, man. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't see it happening. It's just something that's being reported. I think it was actually because a lot of it gained steam from Pat McAfee this morning on his show. So that's where that comes from. Take from it what you want.
Yeah, Jason's the one to speak about that one. I was out. We called it a relationship maintenance day. Anyway,
I don't want that kind of drama.
Yeah, that's what I would take it as a grain of salt. I mean, if the Packers want to trade Aaron Rodgers to us, I mean, of course you have to listen, but then that gets into a whole different discussion of what's it going to cost and is it going to be worth the price at that point. And
it came out today that at the owners' meeting we were supposedly in trade talks for Kirk Cousins. So again, it's just another offseason at the quarterback of the 49ers quarterback position. Same shit every year.
Look, anytime there's questions at the Niners quarterback position and Kirk Cousins is available, those rumors are, and Kyle Shanahan, specifically Kyle Shanahan's our head coach, or, in any type of significant involvement in the Niner organization, those rumors are always going to be there.
Well, I think it's going to be there no matter what, because you're also talking about one of the flagship organizations for the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
If the Cowboys show up and all of a sudden, when they had a quarterback with the Colt last year, when Dak was out for his injury, there was people talking about that. Again, it's a flagship organization.
Yeah, definitely. I call it an organization that keeps the NFL going. The reason the NFL is one of the most popular sports in the world ain't because of the Detroit Lions. It's you point to certain organizations that are like, yeah, this is why NFL has a global brand. So, and of course, it's changed over the course of my life, but yeah, the Niners are definitely one of those. So, I bet yet again, Kirk Cousins. I mean, that's a different conversation. Look, to me, this is the simple solution to any quarterback rumors we have this year. The owner, the GM, and the head coach have all spoken that in 2021, they were looking at the fact that the core of this football team was going to need to get paid. And there was an organizational decision, meaning Jed signed off on this too. So this ain't just Kyle. This is coming from ownership too. That to build the best football team, we needed quarterbacks on rookie/cheap deals. If this quarterback, whoever he is not on a rookie/cheap deal, he is not going to be a quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers this year or in the foreseeable future. That's just when the owner, the GM, and the head coach come out and tell you this. Hey, this is our philosophy. This is how we're moving forward as an organization. Jetty came out and said, look, I hope one of these three quarterbacks earns a massive extension with the Niners one day. But until then, we're going to operate under quarterbacks on rookie deals. So we can pay Nick Bosa. So we can play Brandon Ayuk, which we'll get into a little bit of Brandon Ayuk and this asshole right here and waking up my fiance. And just, yeah, anyway, April Fools. Didn't even realize it was April Fools and shit. Fucking.
You're bad. You're bad.
It was. Anyway, I was slacking in my mackin. So yeah, forgive me, yeah. So to answer your question, bruh, that's what I'm saying about these Aaron Rodgers rumors. I'm not listening to it because Aaron Rodgers just I almost said Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, Kirk Cousins.
Lamar is the only one I'll actually entertain. If it's not don't talk to me.
Look, entertaining it. I mean, fine, okay, cool. And I'm not even saying if the Packers GM calls John Lynch and says, "Hey, John, I got Aaron for 2 1s."
No,
and of course you have to. He
ain't worth that.
Okay, fine, but you have to discuss it as an organization. And you know what? Let's be real. I believe the Niners are a pretty well-run organization. They probably already discussed scenarios. Once a player is known to be available, whether that's hearing it themselves or through legit sources or whatever, I'm pretty sure Kyle and John talk. You know, hey, what are you feeling about this? You know,
they're probably talking before the rumors got out. That's why.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I feel the Niners are a competent run organization. So best case scenario, it's Brock Purdy, which we'll get into. Matter of fact, Jason, go ahead and pull it up, bro.
Which one?
Well, you want to just start O-line?
Oh, yeah, that's the way it's laid out.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get into offensive preview. O-line. I mean, I think Jason and I pretty agree. Trent Williams. I think he's gonna start.
Maybe slight chance.
Yeah, slight chance to Trent Williams. Aaron Banks, who surprised me. I was,
I think he surprised 99% of this freaking fan base with how good he was.
Yeah, I think this is as the year progressed. Look, I've always been a Lynch-Hand guy, but I really felt solidified last year because I think what we saw last year was 19 or 21, whatever wasn't a fluke, and so maybe this front office knows what it's doing because Aaron Banks damn well played like a second-round pick last year.
Played damn near at all pro, but Pro Bowl level type. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I think that let's be real. If he could just be a reasonable starter, just a starter level, right? A good starter. That's all we need from him. You're next to basically one of the best players in the NFL, dude. You don't need to be an all-pro player. You just need to play like a second-round pick, and we're okay with it. I will sign Aaron Banks to an extension if he could just play. And as long as Trent Williams is our left tackle, I will make Aaron Banks our left guard. I just need comparable play there, and I know we're fine.
If he plays another season like that, I'm down with an extension with him. As long as he plays at the same level, I'm good with an extension with him.
Or even
like you also
said, you would hope a little better.
Yeah, but like you said, how much of that is because you're playing next to Trent Williams, and you know what I mean? That's got to help.
Well, of course, there's going to be an automatic bump, but if I go to Trent and I say, "What do you think?" and Trent gives me the thumbs up, I'm okay with that. Yeah. And my coaches give me the thumbs up, and everything's tip top. Yeah. So I think left side set, Jason? Left side set?
Yeah, pretty much. I got can't really argue against those two.
No, Jake Brendel. I was
That,
super surprised by Brendel last year. I really
he
was.
made the most of it.
Yeah, he really did. Definitely deserves the extension he got this year. I'm not going to say.
A lot of people are down on him. I've seen a lot of people who were saying that he wasn't that good. I'm like, who were you watching? If you don't think Jake Brendel was a good center last year, who the hell were you watching on that line?
I mean, was there? I mean, this is to me is that look. I'm not going to pretend. I mean, hopefully we can get Graham on the show. I would love to have Graham on the show and break down the O line. Versus me with my high school level of play on offensive line. But at least the man, Graham's played in college. Yeah. So I would love to get him to break down. But to me, I'm like, okay, was there any issue, quarterback center exchange issue last year? I don't remember it being an issue.
Maybe
I don't
once
remember.
Or twice?
I don't remember. Okay. I don't remember there being any. I just don't remember pointing out the screen and being the center is the reason the play blew up.
No more than what you would expect throughout the entirety of a season.
And to me, I feel like we can't rattle off 12 wins in a row without every aspect of the team playing at a comparable level.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say the O-line struggled a little bit in the playoffs, especially the Cry Girls game. But is that the O-line sucks, or is that the Cry Girls D-line is one of the best in the NFL? I think that's the Cry Girls D-line being one of the best in the NFL. I didn't come out of that game saying, because ultimately when it mattered most, our offensive line was dominant. It was clear the second half of that football game, our offensive line took over that football game. And that's ultimately the reason why we won it. Because the D could have shut them out all they wanted to. If the O didn't do shit last year, that playoff game probably goes a lot different.
Yeah.
But our offensive line with the ability to, what was it? Wasn't it like a 17-minute drive or something? Like, I know that it was damn near the whole third quarter.
I want to say it was like 14. I think it was close. I think it was actually like 14, but
it was like damn near the whole third quarter that we were on the field. That's what won us that football game last year. And the offensive line was a huge part of that because it was us running the ball. Yeah, CMC doing his thing, but why is CMC doing his thing? What makes it look so easy for CMC? Probably, ultimately a big part because of number 71, but number 64 was out there doing his damn thing.
Yeah.
Now, the right side of the line, Jason, I'm going to let you speak on this first and let you take the Burford and, Colton McKivitz, etc. Type first, and then I'll give my thoughts.
All right. So obviously we have what is being perceived right now that it's going to be Buford and McKivitz. Buford at guard, McKivitz over at tackle. I think you could say that Buford at times, because he did share time with Daniel Brunskill, did show obviously not as good as Banks was, but he was a quite competent right guard, and he played pretty damn good at times. And again, he did play next to McGlinchey, which, and I know a lot of people hate to say it, but McGlinchey did play some good ball. Contrary to what everybody wants to say, yes, his pass blocking was mediocre at best, but his running blocking was good. So I think Buford definitely could easily slide in for a second year full time now at guard. Now comes with everybody, with McGlinchey gone, does Colton McKivitz, who did play there last year quite well, actually. He actually wasn't quite as good as run blocking as McGlinchey was, or pass blocking, but he was much better as pass blocker than he was than McGlinchey was. So if we're going to start passing more, which I don't know, I think we're still going to be running more than anything else, but that little bit of a drop off for such an increase in the pass protection, to me, it's worth it if he starts. Then there's also, I've heard a few people talking about actually kicking Buford back out to tackle and have McKivitz drop back and be, kind of like what Daniel Brunskill was, be the sixth man. And I think McKivitz on most teams would be a really good sixth man. Then the question is, who pulls up in the guard? Well, pretty much everybody here on this second line has some experience at guard. Obviously, with Feliciano probably the most experience of them. But Nick Zakel definitely was playing guard, or he played center a little bit too.
Yeah,
but
he was
Jason Poe. Well, Jason Poe, I like him a little bit more as a center versus as a guard, but I think he could play there. So, like I said, anybody on this backside could slide in and play guard if they decide to kick out Buford. I want to keep Buford on the inside, keep that cohesion when you got the three middle guys right there. I like the law office of the Triple B, as we were calling them for a little while last year. And then let's just have an all-out camp war to find out who takes the right tackle position. Which right now, I think it's going to be Colton McKivitz.
I mean, don't sleep on Feliciano.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think they didn't sign him to be a camp body. I don't think. I think they told him, "Hey, you're going to come compete," and probably, let's be real, it's probably get some playing time.
Yeah, I'm curious if we to rotate again.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. They clearly feel that they can rotate, which, isn't ideal. But I mean, I feel like if you really try to go argue something with Kyle now, he's going to be like 3 out of the last 4 NFC Championship games, motherfucker. And I mean, can you really argue with him?
Yeah.
So if nobody is it's no clear cut, this person is better and ready. Now, I think what I would like to see with Buford is, hey, you came from UTEP, or wasn't it UTEP?
Yeah.
You came from UTEP. There's obviously some jump in the NFL, but hey, got a full off season. Gotten a NFL weight program and everything like that. I think you would like to see him progress enough that he could be a competent starter on his own. And then really all you're doing is saying, hey, okay, who's our right tackle coming out of camp? Which, I think it'll tell you more. If you go to somebody who's the better run blocker, then obviously they plan to run the ball more. If it's McKivitz, then that tells me they got to pass the ball more, which if they feel that they're going to pass the ball more, that to me looks more Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold combination than Purdy, Trey Lance, because it's clear they don't trust Trey to throw the ball.
He didn't really get a chance at all.
He didn't. Look, I'm on the train of it's very clear that Trey has to play. Yeah. And the ideas that I'm starting to believe more of what the media puts out with Trey, that it seems reasonable, of course, to me. But I think there is some truth to saying, hey, we were willing to live what Trey was last year. We were willing to live with that. We just knew it was going to be rough. We knew it was going to be ugly. We were willing to grind, take a step back last year to take 2 steps forward this year. But we can't look at this team and say we're going to do that again now. We talked about this, I mean, we can't just assume Trent Williams is coming back next year.
No, I think that's completely up in the air.
I do too. I think, and honestly, I think it might not matter because if you tell me we win a championship, why would he come back?
Yeah. I would really be – I'd say it would almost be 75-25 if we were to win next year that he's not coming back.
And then, I mean, if we don't win, can they convince him that, hey, Trent, it ain't worked out since 2020, but next year we're getting it,
Yeah.
I mean, can they convince, hey, go through all this again, and next year we'll do it, and his level at play, because I don't see Trent Williams. He's not going to be the type of player that plays beyond, like he's going to leave the field gracefully.
Yeah, he's not going to be holding on to dear life, getting blown up every other play. I don't see that with Trent.
Trent Williams wants to go out as the best left, probably arguably the best left tackle in NFL history. Definitely first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's got to get that chip though first, I think.
I think that's what ultimately his look. If championships didn't matter, Trent Williams is a Hall of Famer. So I feel it's kind of almost a little disrespectful to Trent Williams to say, like, because it's like, look, does Trent Williams play really change? If he's like Patrick Willis, I can understand people saying, hey, Patrick Willis, if you're going to have a short career, you need a championship. If somebody looks at me and it's a person who votes for the Hall of Fame looks at me and says, I didn't vote for Patrick Willis because he doesn't have a championship, you can make an argument for that. Fine. But to me, Trent Williams is at that level where Trent Williams doesn't need a championship to be a Hall of Fame. John Lynch, sure. If the Buccaneers don't win Super Bowl, whatever it was, is John Lynch a Hall of Famer? Probably not. Because that defense is probably not looked at one of the best defenses of all time. If they don't embarrass the Raiders the way that they did in the Super Bowl, when they literally looked and were like, we knew every audible.
Yeah.
Like, was unfair. It was essentially a scrimmage. So ultimately, I think it will be what the five that we have here. Feliciano either as a Daniel Brunskill sixth man or rotating at right guard. What do we got next? Arby's?
Nope. Tight end University.
That's my tight end. Clotheslining the hell out of the Miz. Like, I watched this live because I was watching WrestleMania. And as soon as he popped up, I was like, he's going to get involved. He's going to get involved. Holy shit, he's getting involved. Yes. This is like, this is, George Kittle's a national treasure.
Just watching him, he's built for WWE. He's not going to be in this league. He's built to be a wrestler, man. It's just the way he moves. He's already got everything down.
The personality.
Everything. He is built to be a WWE superstar right now.
They've came to him and they said, hey, George, when you're ready, we got
they had
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've had to done that.
Got Charlie Warner. I'm down with Charlie Warner. We don't expect much out of him when it comes to receiving. Solid blocking tight end. I'm down with keeping him. Ross Dwelley was the one all of us were like, yeah, except for that one out pattern you catch every year. What else do you do all year?
But is he given the opportunity?
I don't know. There's just something about Dwelley. I'm like, we can do better.
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, we both have to agree he's not on scholarship. His 53-man roster spot is very much in danger this year.
Yeah, and with a decently deep tight end draft, we might really get somebody in a rookie deal that we could push in there.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, they spend a high third, even a fourth, and it's a tie. It's a tie.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Easily.
Ross Dwelley has to beat out that draft pick. And Charlie Warner, basically.
No, right now I put him with Charlie Warner above Dwelley. Easily.
Yeah, that's what that's what I'm saying. So it would be George Kittle, draft pick, and Charlie Warner, as it sounds right now, if we draft a tight end high enough. Now, if it's a 5th, 6th rounder, he's still going to have to beat him out, but you would hope Ross Dwelley would beat out a 6th-round tight end. Well, we'll see. But yeah, just George Kittle is a national treasure, and ultimately, I've always hated it because he is going to get expensive, and I love the fact that it's Kyle and John that are in charge. Because if we get a new regime, I could definitely see George Kittle being the type of player that's like, hey, he's expensive, drafted by another regime and all that.
Yeah.
But because this regime puts so much emphasis on our type of guys and the locker room and doing it the right way and all that. George Kittle is literally molded by that. He came here the first year Kyle Shanahan was here.
Mm-hmm.
If you speak about the Kyle Shanahan way, it has to be led by George Kittle, who besides Eric Armstead, I believe is the longest tenured Niner.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could get into some of the free agents from 2017, but besides Eric Armstead, I believe George Kittle is the longest tenured Niner. And if you had to tell me, would I rather have Eric Armstead or George Kittle? I'm sorry, Eric. Love everything you do, but we got Javon Hargrave. We don't have a replacement for George Kittle on the roster yet. We have a replacement for Eric Armstead.
A few.
Eric Armstead is a luxury right now. Right? I mean, we can agree to that.
Yeah.
All right, next. I love me some George Kittle. I hope he never goes away. RB.
That's the running backs.
This to me is interesting because, I mean, who's our lead running back? I mean, it's obvious. The running back room is going to be led by Christian McCaffrey. Is Elijah Mitchell's roster spot up for grabs this year?
Possibly, depending a lot. With him, it comes down to his health. Is he going to stay healthy? That's it. But that's been the issue with running backs underneath Kyle for a while now. They're great for a season and a half ish, and then they all just get hurt. We just run them into the ground.
I mean, obviously you put Juice there. Juice is.
Yeah, Juice ain't going nowhere.
Kyle said, "As long as I'm head coach, you'll be here."
Yeah.
That's how what Kyle said, because Juice talked about how he was talking about whether he should buy a house or rent somewhere or something like that, and Kyle told him, "Hey, buy a house because as long as I'm head coach here, you'll be head coach."
If for some reason Kyle got fired at the end of next season, and say Kyle goes to, I don't know, the Packers, guaranteed the first call he's making is Juice. He's trading for Juice, getting him to sign. He's getting him to go with. He makes that running back room much. He's been the lead blocker for how many 1,000-yard rushers or leading.
It's just I believe what Kyle said when he talked about going into free agency and they talked about, hey, fullback is a dying breed and not many teams use one. And you said, maybe running back, maybe people don't use fullbacks because they don't have me. Like maybe if they had me, they would use fullback a lot more.
The only good fullback besides Juice in the league is the guy from the Ravens, who I can't think of off the top of my head.
Which consequently, where did Juice come from?
Exactly. It was Juice replacement. He's not quite Juice, but he's pretty damn close. You know what I mean? He's good.
So, and I mean, especially with this is the thing about also why I think Juice is important is it doesn't matter if you think you can have a replacement, because if college ain't producing them, where you getting them at?
Yeah.
Like how many fullbacks is college producing?
Not many. So most people are running the spread of the gun or whatever.
Exactly. So it's like, well, if they're not coming from college, where are you picking up your starting fullback from? So Juice is on there. Do we see more JP Mason? I always feel like JP Mason looked fine in the offseason, in preseason, and then he disappeared.
They disappeared until what, game 15 or so?
And it's like, why? I'm so frustrated. Well, I'll get to him after Jordan Mason. Because he was just, to me, Jordan Mason had the surprise running back that's an undrafted free agent that ends up proving to be better than everybody. And it's like, why do the Niners keep drafting running backs when our best running backs consistently keep on bringing undrafted free agents? Like, why do we do this to ourselves? But I thought that was Jordan Mason, but I just didn't see it. So I'm curious, because this is, if I could interview Bobby Turner, I'd be really curious, because I'd be like, well, what is he not doing? Because it's clearly something we don't see as fans, which means he's not practicing right. Something's not happening. And because it can't be talent, because he's looked fine every time he's played.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes it didn't hurt us last year because we traded for CMC. But if we didn't trade for CMC, like, is it gonna hurt? It's gonna hurt the running back position not to have him because Bobby Turner has a stick up his ass. So, look, knock on wood, we got lucky. CMC was relative. I mean, let's be real. At the end of the Cry Girls game, his calf was clearly irritated. CMC was not healthy at the end of last year. He's just a savage. He's going to play through it, and you're going to have to take him off the football field in the body bag.
Especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, especially in the playoffs. You're going to have to take him off that field and, like, go hide his football helmet and his cleats because he'd probably go out there without a helmet. So that's why I get so fired up about CMC and George Kittle and all these players like that, because they're just the type of players that go out there and play without a helmet. But is Jordan Mason – let me ask you this, Jason, and we're kind of transition here at this point to TDP. Is Jordan Mason better than TDP?
Off of what we saw for right now, yes.
Then why do we draft these freaking running backs? I wouldn't be frustrated if they're consistently proven to be productive, but you got Joe Williams, was on the team not even 2 years, was kind of his second year. You've had why am I forgetting his name? The running back we drafted 2 years ago.
Oh, went to the Eagles.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to.
Trey Sermon.
Trey Sermon.
Trey Sermon. We drafted him. It was going to be, the zone read heaven with him and Trey.
Mm-hmm. Gone.
I mean, off the team.
Same thing with TDP.
Is TDP going to go down that line? And at that point, why the fuck did we draft him?
I wonder if they didn't expect Elijah to be this good. That's why we got him.
I mean, okay, fine. That's awesome. But you've consistently proven that late draft that you can find talent. Because this is why it is. It's like, okay, fine. Draft multiple positions. You take multiple shots at the dartboard, right? You're going to have a higher success rate. Why do we draft a D lineman every year? Because it's like, look, eventually, obviously you're going to get your Note Bosas, but you're going to get your DJ Jones. You're going to get your solid role players. You just consistently draft D linemen. It's like the Steelers with receivers. Why could they let all the receivers go? Because they draft 3 or 4 every year. And we know we're going to hit. We have the ability to coach that position well, and we're going to take enough shots at the dartboard that we're going to hit. So if we do that, and there's proof in the pudding, it's clearly a philosophy as an organization, because you see us sign running backs every year in free agency. So I'm not understanding.
Maybe that's why they went ahead and made the trade for CMC. They just realized that they weren't getting exactly what they wanted out of those drafted running backs. So, like, you know what? This isn't working quite to what we want. Let's go get one that we know who we 100% know is.
Okay. Okay. I want to believe that. I want to believe that, Jason. And I want to also believe come draft day that before round 5, like 5th round or later, maybe even 6th, ideally 6th, that I don't see us take a running back. Because
I wouldn't put it past us to draft one in the 3rd, just because.
God, why?
Would you legitimately be surprised if we?
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
Exactly, because
I wouldn't be surprised. But I just like, why? I don't want to, because then so then you got CMC, you got Jordan Mason, you got Elijah Mitchell, and you got TDP, plus this other drafted running back in the 3rd round. Okay, so
it's either Elijah or TDP. One of them going to be traded before camp. It'll be just like Trey Sermon again. Somebody's going to be the odd man out. Or you do exactly like we did with trading Raheem Mostert. We kept Elijah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be down. If you could get a draft, what pick would it take you to trade Elijah?
Elijah, probably a 4th.
I'd do it for a 5th. I do it for a 5th. If you tell me, hey, we're not going to draft a running back, and we believe in TDP, we believe in Jordan Mason, and obviously we have CMC, and we're going to sign 2 or 3, undrafted free agents to round out the room. Yeah, I'd take a 5th for Elijah.
I mean, he's just at this point,
injuries.
He's Mostert.
Yeah,
great. You're an awesome running back when you're healthy.
God, CMC and you would be such a dangerous duo.
Yeah,
it'd be so beautiful. It'd be so beautiful. But I mean, what's the over under? What's the over under that we actually see it for more than a game? See the duo of CMC and Elijah Mitchell together. What, 2 games is the over under?
6.
6?
I'll say 6.
6 games. I'm still taking the under. I'm gonna guess. I would guess 4, 5, 6 more than I would guess 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh yeah, I would definitely bet the under on that.
Well, I could see 7. Sure, if you told me 7 games, fine, I'd believe that.
Definitely going double digits. That's for damn sure.
That's what I'm saying. And I can't. If you can't give me 12 games, right? Like 12, that means you're missing more than a month. That's 5 games that you're missing in a year. If you can't give me 12, I mean, can I call you a duo? Because that's more than a half a season that I'm now having to replace you with. That means if Elijah goes out, TDP has to take his place for more than half the season, or Jordan Mason, or whoever. I can't call you a duo at that point. So are you really that dangerous?
But it'd be nice. It would be nice.
Would love it. All right, next. We spent a while on the running backs because that's a big position. I mean, wide receivers, I think is pretty set. Jason, what we kept last year on the initial 53, we kept 5. So probably the same. Rack me off your 5 pre-draft.
Debo, BA, Jennings, Gray, and McLeod. I think it's pretty obvious who the top 5 here are.
Yeah.
I mean, we only saw Newsome and Johnson basically as camp bodies for the most part after the season.
I would say Danny Gray, just because he's cheap, and you have to give him more than last year.
Yeah.
You have to give him more than 1 year. Let him develop into a little bit. Ray, I mean, Ray is going to be on this team because if Ray didn't play significant snaps last year on offense, then fine. But her and I were at the Washington game. So Ray was playing significant snaps from scrimmage. So that tells you that he's a part of this football team. I mean, okay, so we have to speak about this, fam. Jason is an asshole. I wake up all innocently on April 1st, and I see the homie AJ comment on one of our posts that Jason posts on Instagram. Fuck. Right? And I'm thinking, oh, great, what happened? Somebody got hurt. What happened? And I see the San Francisco 49ers have traded Brandon Ayuk to the New York Giants. And I literally said the biggest, loudest fuck I've said in a long time and threw my phone and broke something. To this day, I have no idea what I broke.
Should have recorded that.
And I said, fuck. Woke my fiance up. She's like, babe, what's wrong? Thinking, something's horribly wrong. And then I look down and I find out it's an April Fool's show.
Don't trust any of the damn thing I post every year come April 1st, man. That shit ain't gonna, none of that shit's going to be real.
I didn't even realize it was April 1st. Truthfully, I feel so stupid because I didn't even realize it was April Fool's. And, let's be real. You said it when we talked to the pre-show meeting. What made it perfect is Brandon Ayuk could be traded.
There was all of that rumors going around right before that, too. So it was the absolute best time to post that one.
You know why I reacted as much as I did? Because I got Defoe flashes. Defoe. My PTSD from Defoe acted up. because there was no way in my mind, like why Defoe hurt me so bad was because there was no way I was convinced that Defoe wasn't going to be a Niner.
Yeah, it came in literally out of nowhere.
I was so convinced. I was at the level of that I am of Nick Bosa being a Niner. Like that's how secure I was about Defoe being a Niner, because there was no questions to me about it. Like he's healthy, man plays too many snaps. You know the level of play, ascending player. I felt 2019 was Defoe's best year. That's what you saw Defoe making game-changing plays. The punch out and touchdown against the Seahawks comes to mind. You know, so and homegrown. Leader in the locker room, everything Brandon Ayuk is. Let's get this out of the way right now. You and I have both, do you believe Debo and Brandon Ayuk are both sustainable as Niners long-term?
I don't think it's sustainable past this year just because of their salaries.
I don't either.
Not to say I don't want to trade either one. I just don't see it financially.
I mean, let's be real. We would all love, if it's the nuts were candy and nuts, then we're candy and nuts, then every day would be a Merry Christmas. Like we'd all love it. We'd love to have our cake and eat it too. But ultimately, this is the NFL salary cap. You can't play one receiver, 28. You can't dedicate $35 million to two receivers. That's what it would be. It would be 14 for BA next year, and that's if he plays on the fifth-year option. And
I don't think he's actually signed. He hasn't actually officially been extended yet, has he?
No, he is not. They said, I believe the deadline is after the draft.
Okay.
So this will be,
So we got like a month.
Because even if you're willing to trade Brandon Ayuk, why would a team not want to trade? It would either be a trade and you make him a new deal, or the team that traded it would trade for him would want the fifth-year option.
Yeah, this would be the year to go for him.
When you break it down, so which one do you? So we talked about it when we talked about this a few weeks ago. We talked about it as basically a 2 out of 3 package. You get CMC, Debo, and Brandon Ayuk. We pretty much said you're doing CMC as one, right?
Yeah.
And I think you feel the same way. We're both saying you keep CMC and Brandon Ayuk and you trade Debo.
For right now, yeah. Just financially, he would be the one I would try to get rid of.
And I want to make this clear. Let me move the mic for a second. I have a shirt that says, "I got 19 problems, but your D ain't one." Okay, I got a shirt that literally says that. My girl will tell you how heartbroken and devastated I was laying on the floor with tears streaming down my face when I thought Debo was done for the season last year. Nobody screams "tuck your chain" louder than me when I see Debo running through a secondary. The man's personally commented on a post on our social media.
Couple times.
I love Debo.
But it's a business. Unfortunately, that's the ugly part. It is a business at the end of the day at times.
And I'm getting a little emotional just because of how much I really love Debo, because Debo carried us on his back in 2021. One of the most heartbreaking things I've seen in my life is Debo crying on the sideline in LA with a towel draped over his head, because I know how Debo must have felt. Like, I don't know, but that was a man who gave his soul for this football team.
Give me the ball.
Give me the ball.
Give me the ball.
I got your back. Give me the ball. And what did he do?
And he scored.
He fucking scored. That's some Frank Gore shit. You know what I'm saying? That's like, that puts you on the echelon of this franchise. I love Debo, but BA's game is more sustainable. Watch his route running. Let's be real. What's Debo's game? I'm gonna bully you.
Yeah. I'm gonna run you over, run through you, and anything else. You just can't stop me.
You cannot stop me. there's a reason that the two players that lead us out of the locker room are Debo and Trent Williams, who are our two most physical, imposing players. Trent Williams could just pick up any grown man on a football field and toss him to the ground. Like we literally watched it. He tossed up another big-ass, grown-ass man and tossed him to the ground like he was a fucking ragdoll. And Debo Samuel, who acts like he's 400 pounds and 6'9". That's just how Debo's mentality is. But I'm sorry. I don't watch a lot of film, but it seems like every time somebody's doing a breakdown of Brandon Ayuk, his route running is just ridiculous.
It's damn near perfect at times.
Like, how does this man not have more stats? And it's because Jimmy can't get him the ball. Let's be real.
Yeah. Well, just this offense in general. But, yeah, there's also that.
And let's be real. I'll pull up the list. All my as far as receiving categories last year were BA. Because going into the season, what did we all think? Who has a better relationship? Debo and Trey or BA and Trey? It was clearly BA and Trey. So to me, we got a couple comments here. What faithful my gang, the topic of the day. We got Roberto, what's cracking, brother? We got offensive pre-draft offensive preview. We got receivers, right? Oh, my bad.
We're just talking about what we have on the team right now.
Yeah, pre-draft, because I think we got a damn good football team. I mean, let's be real. If this football team lined up, starters-wise, and lined up, I think this team could win the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No doubt.
As we line up our starters versus your starters, I mean, shit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. I did not see us losing the NFC Championship, guys, last year. I really thought maybe the Super Bowl might have been tough against the Chiefs. Maybe not, but Mike Florio doesn't know crap about that.
Don't listen to
I don't even fucking listen to that. Like, you know what?
No, I don't listen. I unfollowed him on everything just because his shit is so unreliable.
People know Niners have the biggest fan base on social media. It's fucking clear. It's not even close. We have the most active fan base on social media. So the two ways to get the most clicks is Niners are going to win the Super Bowl
or bag on their Niners.
That's basically the two things you're going to get the most clicks on social.
You want a bunch of clicks? Say there's, just click insert quarterback name to 49ers.
Yeah, exactly. Basically.
That's all you got to do.
Fucking A. So I feel a lot better going to bed at night if we had a solution at kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Because to me, what's making me nervous right now is if we're going to sign Robbie, then why haven't we done it? Like what's, I wish they would speak about it. I really do. Like, so if it's going to be Robbie, then fine. And Roberto, we've said it like this, brother. If you want what's best for the 2024 and beyond Niners, we have to look at another solution for Robbie. Other than Robbie, we have to start looking at a replacement at kicker. But is that the best thing for the 2023 Niners? No, it really probably ain't the best thing for even the 2024 Niners, maybe. But the best thing for the 2023 Niners is to get Robbie Gould, because no, there's not a kicker that I trust lining up in Green Bay with the fucking Super Bowl on the line other than Robbie Gould. Let's be real. Could you close your eyes and could you imagine Robbie Gould making a championship winning kick for the Niners? I can. Yeah. If Robbie lines up in the Super Bowl, for a game-winning kick, either we win or we lose, and this is a Super Bowl, I feel more. Of course you're nervous, but I feel more confident. I'd be more shocked he missed it than he made it.
100%.
And for a team that wants to win a Super Bowl, that's came out and said it, it's not us. It's not the faithful saying it's a championship window. It's the team. It's Jed York. It's ownership. So beyond at this point, fuck what Kyle says, fuck what John says. They're going to say that. What does the ownership say? What is the man that ultimately decides who has a job and who doesn't say? Oh, he says it's a championship window? Then it's a championship window, and we need a championship kicker. And the man's never missed in the playoffs. Hello? Go ask the Bills what happens when you have a shaky kicker in the playoffs. I've waited too long to have a championship to come down to a kicker. I mean, he made, what was it, $5 million last year? I think it was like $5 million. I mean, I think 5 or 6 was the franchise tag. They didn't franchise him. So, I mean, look, if Robbie wants top kicker money, I don't think that's unreasonable. But, I mean, it's got to be him saying, I want top kicker money, and them saying, you're 40 years old. You don't really kick off. Let's be real. One of the reasons we have now, it was better last year, but it was still not elite. Special teams unit is because our kicker can't kick a touchback. Let's be real. If our kicker can take a touchback, it's not an issue. Why do we give up the most return yards in the NFL? Because we have a kicker who can't kick it out the end zone. So is the plan to have Blaine do kickoffs and Robbie do field goals? Are we going to kick? So we're going to keep 3 quarterbacks, 2 kickers, and 50 million D linemen. Okay. All right, for sure. What's next after receivers?
Sorry. Oh, I think we're going to go to the finality.
Yeah, the QB room. Okay. Yep. I mean, Brock's got to be number 1, right? Like, I mean, we're not telling you.
Can he be when he's still hurt? He's going to be hurt probably into the season.
Yeah, okay. But he's healthy. He has to be. Look, because we're not telling you Brock's QB number 1. Kyle's telling you Brock's QB 1. Trust your eyes, faithful. Trust your eyes. That offense looked different under Brock Purdy. It was not the same offense as Jimmy Garoppolo. It was not the same offense as Trey Lance. That was the type of offense I expected to see when we hired Kyle Shanahan. What was it, 33 points we were averaging?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I mean, Kyle is telling you Brock is QB number 1. Kyle is telling you. Now let's get to the meat of it. I'll let you go first, Jason. Just simply, I think you're going to give us the best assessment because you were a Trey guy from the jump.
Before most people even knew who the hell he was.
Yeah, you were. So I'll let you take the lead on QB room.
Like you said, I think it speaks that, or they've spoken that right now they want Brock to be the leader in this room. And I think nothing against Trey, but we've got to see at least over an extended period of time what Brock brings to the field. We haven't necessarily got that from Trey, partially because of his injuries, partially because Jimmy, partially because I don't think Kyle 100% actually trusted him to run this offense at its fullest. I think this offense ran exactly the way he wanted to with Brock. That said, even though I have championed the Trey train for a long time, I am a little worried that he has not played a significant amount of football in going on close to 4 years. That, to me, is what bothers me. Yes, he does need reps. He does need to learn. But with this team built to win now, can we really afford that to let him grow when we have somebody who's already proven, hey, I'm ready to play right now in Brock Purdy. Brock
Purdy, baby.
It's the Purdy party if we win the Super Bowl. That's for damn sure. And arguably even Sam Darnold. Yes, Sam Darnold has not been a great quarterback for most of his NFL career, but he's ready to play. He's shown up to play, so
let's be real. He's a veteran in the room.
Yeah, which isn't saying much, but it's just I forget. I think I was talking to or who was I watching? Somebody was talking about that. If they really like Trey, they have to let him go. That he has to be traded. Which I see the point with it because he needs people around him to grow with, and I don't think this time and this fan base are going to give him that time at this stage with everything that's happened with him and around him the last couple of years. Not to mention missing a year of school from the whole COVID thing. He's not going to get a chance to grow up, So it's so hard to say. Like I still want him. I still like Trey. I still think he can be a good quarterback for years to come. It's just whether or not they are going to have the patience to let him be that quarterback.
We can't.
No,
we can't. I cannot.
He's not even healthy now. Now would be the best time for him to establish this is my team, and he can't even do that right now.
And I mean, this is the thing that hurts the most is I was excited. Obviously, I'm not gonna lie. I was a Justin Fields guy. I thought we should get Justin Fields. Now, am I gonna sit here and say Trey Lance was the wrong pick? I mean, at 3, yeah. You feel me? But at number 12, no. So the trade is over. The trade is what it is. We paid what we paid for him.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I mean, do I trade him? I mean, what am I getting? Do I give him away for nothing? No.
You're not getting the value of what you spent. You're not getting close to it.
Oh, yeah, no. This isn't about recopying what you got. I mean, dude, you're not even probably getting past the third. Somebody offers me a third for Trey Lance right now, and I feel I can go hand Sam Darnold the starting job, and until Brock gets back and go sign a comparable backup and everything. Fine, but do I ultimately think they're going to trade him? No, because who are we going to get? Because we have to have 3 quarterbacks. We discussed this in our pre-show meeting today. This team doesn't ever not have 3 quarterbacks on the roster. So who are we getting that's better than Trey? I mean, yeah, you can get people that are more proven than Trey, but I mean, let's not pretend like Trey's talent's not there.
Yeah.
But no, ultimately, was it the wrong decision to pick a quarterback that needed the most work on a team that was ready to win now? Yes. Now, am I going to say that Mac Jones or any quarterback that was available to us would have been a better selection because he was ready to play now? No, because Justin Fields even needed probably a little bit of work. He wasn't exactly ready to hop in, day one and take us to the Super Bowl. So ultimately, what's going to cost Trey his Niner career? I think getting hurt last year. Because if he would have played last year, I feel at least we would have had a basis to stand on. And ultimately, and we'll wrap it up right here, I cannot, when I've seen something happen, Sam Darnold is sinking. Phil Dawson maybe need to play for us. Yeah, I mean, we've been talking this win now ever since 2019. Yeah. No, we have been talking it ever since 2019. It's been win now. I mean, give the kid a chance. Fine. Awesome.
Okay. And here's this.
I'm down to Trey Lance's chance. But are they going to? Real talk, Niner talk. At the end of the day, look, yeah, we can sit here and I'm down to see Trey. I want Trey to succeed. I made Trey area t-shirts. I want Trey Lance to succeed. Nothing more would make me prouder than see a mixed quarterback, a black mixed quarterback like me, take us to the 6th championship. Bro, I would love that shit. But I can't go on hope when I've seen it with Brock. Now, we might not see it. I mean, we might not see it. Look, I'm not sitting here saying Brock's the one. Brock's the second coming of Joe Montana. Look, we need to see it from Brock. 8 games doesn't make a career. But you have to look yourself and remove your – I'm not saying you personally, but anybody that's a Trey Lance fan, remove your Trey Lance fan. Have you seen more Trey Lance fan hat? Have you seen more from Trey Lance or Brock Purdy? Brock Purdy. And did it look good? It looked damn good. It looked damn good. I mean, it might have looked, now I can understand the caution. When I understand the caution, because look, we probably were having very similar conversations on the show when Jimmy was here.
No.
Cool.
I don't know how often you've watched their show. I watch their show quite often. They weren't having the same conversations we have about Jimmy. They have
no.
They have a different take on Jimmy than we did.
I'm talking about, look, I was on Jimmy. So, look, I've learned my lesson. I got burned by Jimmy. I mean, let's be real. Kind of got burned by Cap. Different circumstances, but
yeah,
got burned by Cap a little bit. So, I'm all for. Look, ultimately, I said I don't think they should trade Trey because, yeah, I mean, ultimately, I believe the contract wasn't the wrong idea. Where we fucked up with Jimmy, because who are you gonna get? Kirk Cousins? Let's be real. Who are you gonna get? Yeah, you could say draft Patrick Mahomes, draft Josh Allen. That wasn't gonna happen. If we did not sign Jimmy, we were gonna sign Kirk Cousins.
Hey, Kirk Cousins at the very least been fucking healthy. Say what you want about Cousins. He fucking shows up to work every day.
I mean,
that's all you can say about Kirk Cousins that we cannot say about Jimmy.
June,
he at least shows
we'll
up
have Jason, I promise you, in June we'll have a conversation of should we sign Kirk Cousins or Jimmy Garoppolo. Ultimately, what fucked us with Jimmy was he wasn't the same quarterback after his ACL.
Yeah.
And Jimmy was that chick you take home from the after hours and Mary. I mean, Jimmy was the quarterback that looked good. That you're just like, yeah, but it can work. It can work. And you just keep on believing it could work because it looked so good at one point.
I have faith in her. She'll be faithful.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That's the thing. Everybody forgets that Jimmy got hurt before he even got here. So he had injury issues before he got here when he was over at the Patriots. People forget he was supposed to be, the heir apparent to Brady, obviously. And then he got hurt, what is it, a game and a half, I think it was. And Jacoby Brissett had to come in and finish off those games when Brady was suspended.
I have friends that I wouldn't say Patriots fans, but live on the East Coast that have said there were talks that if Jimmy G played well enough in that stretch when Brady was suspended, that he wasn't going to necessarily come back and get his job back right away, All right, so look, real talk. Honestly, message us on social or me personally or whatever. Look at his former Patriot teammates talk about him.
Oh yeah, they're talking mad shit about him now.
Yeah. We'd love to get you on the show. I gotta actually message Jordan. Or special guest we're trying to have on the show week before the draft is when I'm gonna try to do it. But yeah, we're trying to get on a lot of people on this off season. Jason's gonna have some stuff in the summer to do on Tuesdays, so he might not be on every week. So we're definitely looking on for people to come on. So man, get at us, bro. We love I love talking Niner ball with anybody. Anybody that's a real faithful.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think their show was because they've been on hiatus for a minute. But I'll be able to say that their show starting back up. I think it was the 12th too. But
on the 12th.
Yep.
For sure. We'll have to check that out then. And hit us, bro. Love to do a collabo. Jason, final thoughts?
I have a feeling it's going to be another fun off season of quarterback drama, which it's been every damn year, constantly. But I mean, like we talked about earlier, when you're one of the premier flagship franchises in the league, it's good. That's what it is. It's good for business. Again, we had talked about this fan base has probably the largest, without a doubt, social media presence that's active. It's not that we're just on social media. I mean, we got that. Look at how many shows there are. There's a Niners show for everybody. I don't like everybody's style of show, but guess what? There's tons of people who do like that style. Some people like our, so like I said, there's always stuff to talk about, and we're going to keep going with it.
It's definitely not a shortage. I mean, I told my season ticket rep, I mean, look, I really honestly don't think that I could have picked a better thing to talk about. I mean, probably maybe the only thing that might have a bigger reach than NFL and specifically the Niners is soccer. Just because
worldwide.
The worldwide. I mean, soccer is crazy. But unfortunately, I'm an American, so I'm not really that big on. I want to be into soccer so bad because I love the passionate fans. And I've looked at my girl. If we ever go to England, we are going to see a Premier League game.
I'm not into soccer, but I've been to a couple Seattle games. The Sounders.
Yeah,
that shit is actually fun. I'm not necessarily a soccer fan, but that shit was actually fun to be in that crowd. You're jumping around all the time. You're singing. That shit. It was a fucking good time.
I love the songs. I love the songs at soccer games, and I'm all about that. Like we used to go to the Quakes games, or they might have been the Clash back then. But there used to be this dude called Crazy George. He was a famous, like he would be at San Jose A's game or San Jose Giants games, Spartan games. Like he was famous for San Jose sports. Right, he was a local dude, but he would just come and he'd bang his drum and he would talk shit to you're not loud, you got, and he would just try to get you to be louder. But he was crazy, and I mean, man, like Crazy George at the Earthquakes games, like. And my girl's been to the new stadium, but hasn't been for a soccer game. But I heard it gets cracking at the new Avaya Stadium and everything for the Quakes. I heard it can get spunky up in there. It's largest outdoor bar in North America, or largest outdoor bar in North America.
Did you say bar?
Yes. Jason, hey, you come out. Hey, I'll tell you this, bro. You know what? Let's do
next
this.
time I come down there, we need to hit that up.
Yeah, I was about to say, hey, you know what? Definitely, if you come out, especially the whole weekend, and there's an Earthquakes game, Earthquakes home game. But I think you might have to.
Is it open outside of the games or just during the game?
It's just during the game. If there's a game, Jason and I might need you to pick us up from Avaya Stadium. She gave us the thumbs up. We're good, bro. All right, brother. Anything else?
Don't forget, get your hats. These are both the new the draft hats. I got the white and the red on these ones.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I like more.
Go through the affiliate link. I will specifically make one for the draft hats here. Those are going to be hot sellers. So I might take away the 10% one and add a hat one. We'll see. But yeah, we'll add that. All right, brother. We'll see you next week.
Deuces. See you guys next.
All right. We appreciate Jason hopping on. Appreciate Real Talk for Niner Talk coming on, giving us their opinion. Great content today. Love today's show. Pretty damn good show, huh, Bobby? All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. But before we do, remind you, help out Niner Faithful Radio by using our shop49ers.com affiliate link. Link will be in the description of the podcast or video. Get your Niner draft hats. I'm trying to get mine, and then I'm going to get it stitched, and it's going to look sick. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. And follow us on social media. Jason does a bang-up job on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. And, of course, to see everywhere you can subscribe to the show, go ahead and go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. And last but least, the New Hope is the promo code for 10% off of all season 2 for the Faithful by the Faithful Apparel. Make sure you get that. Support the show. Support your boys' clothing line. I shall see y'all next week. Till then, faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.
Weiss has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana. Touchdown. John Taylor.
See ya.